Good morning. It's October 2nd, and that brings us to the second day of the Inktober challenge. The prompt for today is Tranquil, and I'm using a theme of animals, or at least that's the plan. We'll see how long I stay with it. So I chose one of the most tranquil, serene, peaceful animals, and that's the manatee. Here is my reference photo, and I did a sketch of the manatee, and going along with the theme of day 2, this is my second sketch because I actually did a recording of this and did not like the way it came out. I am using some of the techniques I went over on my day 8 star, so this will be one of the non-animal ones. I posted this video. It's just some of the inking techniques that I had to practice because I don't ink as a rule, but I want to use it for this. I want to use it for this challenge. So I already tried this and recorded it, and what happened was I was using too many techniques and it didn't look good. So you won't get to see that, and consider yourself lucky. But I'm going to go again. I'm using my Micron 04. There's no writing left on this. This definitely comes off in my hands. But I'm going to limit myself to a few of the techniques, mainly the dots, the dots, the vertical lines, and some cross hatching, but I'm going to use contouring cross hatching because he's nice and round. So I'm going to get started, and just say a little bit. My lighting is really bad today. I'm not sure what's going on. I can't seem to get this right. All right. Let's just turn this a little bit. Okay, there we go. That's helpful to me. So if you've never seen a manatee in the wild, they are huge. The adults are huge. They can get up to 10 feet long. They can weigh up to 2,200 pounds, I think is the top for them. And they are very slow moving. It's kind of like watching a sloth in the water. They look like gigantic baked potatoes. They're really so cute and so sweet. But they move very slowly. They just sort of drift, and they're super peaceful. They're vegetarians for the most part, so they just feed off of sea lettuce, they call it, and other vegetation, but they don't really have... Okay, they've been on the endangered list since 1967, and they have been just recently moved from endangered, or at least the West Indies. This is the Florida, or where I've seen them is in Florida. I've seen them in an aquarium. Moat Marine has a tank. I think it's one of the parks, Busch Gardens or something, I forget which, has a manatee pool. Some aquarium and I've been to, and I've been able to see a lot of them floating along on the top, and then some down below. You can kind of see them, like you can see at aquariums now have otter. You can view otters and sea lions and things like that. But they just are so sweet and so gentle, and they were endangered. Let's see what I have some facts. In 1967, they were numbered in the hundreds, and now, as of 2014, they have 4,800 of them. This is Florida, and they're endangered because of boaters. Boaters are supposed to avoid areas where manatees hang out, or if they are in that area, they're considered no wake zones, and you're supposed to slow to a very slow speed limit and be really careful because the animals are so slow. They get caught up in the propellers, and there's a lot of them have scarring, and some of them don't survive. So that's can be very that's very sad and can be really tragic. But they've been moved because they have increased in number. They've been moved just to the threatened list, which of course is always such a bad thing because it can be a bad thing because they, they bounce back, and then are they all of a sudden going to go back to being endangered if people go back to their old ways? They also are threatened because of pollution and red tide and algae blooms. So they, they're just so sweet and gentle and tranquil in how they move. So, all right, I'm going to stop talking. I'm not even sure how much of this will get in. And I'm going to begin using some of the techniques. So I want to do dots along his mouth and contoured cross-hatching along here, which is really dark. Looks like I'm about done. He's a lot darker down here, so I could add more cross-hatching. But that's how I got into trouble with the last one, as I started, I always say this, and I can't leave well enough alone. And then I am making him too busy or not looking the way I want him to. And so we'll just leave it at that. I think that's just my Inktober Day 2 challenge for Tranquil, the Tranquil prompt, and I will see you tomorrow when the prompt is roasted. I'm going to go get my drawing ready for that. All right, thanks for watching. See you next time.